Let him cook now. Let him cook. I said let him cook.
You are now about to witness the strength of street knowledge.
You tuned in to Let's Yap About It. Even though I don't talk, but you got something to say. Stuck emotions out now.
Let's yap about it. This ain't no podcast. It's a problem cat. I know why the man Fat Pimp Chicks is very home. Hey man, tell your baby mama I'm looking for her. Tell your wife I'm looking for her. That's what it is, man. Let's yap about it, man. This ain't no podcast. It's a problem cat. Fat motherfucker Pimp. Let's go.
Yeah. Let's yap about it. Yeah. Let's yap about it. Yap about it podcast. Yeah. Starring Raw Bass. Let's yap about it. Yeah. Let's yap about it. Let's yap about it. Yeah. Let's yap. Let go. Yeah. Let's yap about it. We in the mix. Fit too savage. Let's yap about it. Was so living, had to pray for all of my children. Now the whole world be listening. Talk to niggas from prison. Spoke how they was living, how the COs be tripping. Rappers losing on the back end because promoter dudes be dipping. Seen the show when the dude started out of bloods, then start crippin'. Stripper niggas stop tipping, out of game niggas stop flipping. Bad attitude, so he had to move just to keep his ass out of prison. Seen a show about a young hoe, fucked on a sister, man, no apology. Let's yap about it. If the bitch come around me, shit, she can holler at me. Check my Instagram, she was following me, cause she knew I be where them dollars be. Rapid funds, but I keep it going, I fuck you up, no apologies. Yep. Let's yap about it. Yep. Let's yap about it. Yep. Let's yap about it. Live with all Let's yap about it. Bit too savage, savage like music.
We are back, man. We are live reporting live right now. Oh yeah, selection night. We're gonna keep you tuned in with the results. We definitely gonna keep you tuned in. Oh yeah. Back. I'm a man of my word. I'm glad to be back. I told you I'm keeping my word. Tuesdays and Thursdays is when we're going to be coming back and we're going to be having these intelligent conversations. I'm glad to be back. We got a lot to talk about tonight. The main thing we're going to be on right now is the election. I'm going to be bringing the election results. I'm going to be sharing the screen tonight so that y'all can see what's going on behind the scenes. Rather who you voted for, that's fine. What's going on? What's up out there? You know, sending some love back. I want y'all to understand tonight. Whoever you voted for, whether it was Kamala, whether it was Trump, it was your choice. But I want to drop a little knowledge for y'all to understand what's going on, right? The thing about democracy, if you ever want to know about democracy, I'm just going to tell you to read Plato. We stand for a republic. We're not a democracy. We have the theory of a democracy, but there is a control behind the boards. I'm not going to get into too much detail of that, but I want you to understand that the only thing culturally, and I'm talking to Black people, the only thing that matters is putting your dollar where your mouth is. And if you value your dollar, then you're going to value everything that comes behind it, because what comes with that dollar, not just behind voting, you have to lobby And you have to put that money in areas that you see fit that would not just grow yourself, but grow your culture and your community. Every culture does this. But understand, whoever you voted for, that's fine and dandy. But that's just the one piece. That's just one piece to it. But if you want things to change in your community, you want things to change for you, you want things to change for your children, you want things to change all across the board, then it's about taking your dollar and your economic value and creating the space to where you can do things how you want to do them. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody that voted today. I'm going to give y'all some love. That's cool. But understand, when you get to a position of where you are, you're not going to give a fuck who's the president anyway. What? Now, most people will say, what you mean? Well, I'm going to say this. When you're taking care of your business, you're saving and making the sacrifices to where you want to go and where you want to grow, it's not going to matter. You know how to save. You know how to push back. You know how to look at your books. You know how to look at your spending. You know how to look at what your economic value is to yourself and to your family and whatever that you're doing and whatever business endeavors that you got going on. You know exactly what to do. So regardless of whoever's in that can either carry you over in a fair way of tax breaks and incentives and loops that you can get through if you file in the top 1%, top 14%, understand that your dollar matters to you. But I want to talk about some things tonight, man. And I want to go through them. Election day. If you want to chime in, I'm going to put it in the chat. If you want to go ahead and drop some knowledge or whatever, you do not have to show your face. I'm going to put it right here at the bottom. If you do want to join tonight, man, listen, it's up to you. It's all good. Election day. Who wins today? Kamala Harris or Donald Trump? And where do you think the country will be? Questions, comments, or concerns? Chime in. Don't be scared to speak your piece on this. Don't be scared to speak your piece, because guess what? At the end of the day, everybody's been posting what they felt on the Democratic side and the Republican side. But I want to hear from y'all. I want to know exactly what y'all talking about. See me, I don't hide my face. I don't have to hide my face. I go around. I am who I am, and I stand for what I stand on. But if you want your voice to be heard, this is the platform to do it. I'm more than comfortable in sharing this microphone and you giving your opinion on who should win and why. But I'm going to say this. What we've seen, and we're going to get into a lot of other things too, and I want to talk about these things too. We want to talk about the Cardi B, you know what I'm saying, inserted at the last minute. Rapper Cardi B took to the stage in Wisconsin to deliver a speech at a campaign rally for the Vice President Harris on Friday, but an apparent teleprompter glitch had the performer stumbling. We're going to talk about that, and we do have a little bit of insert from that. And then I also want to talk about the situation of AI. Speaking of Cardi B expressed her frustration over social media. The media trolls who crossed the line when disturbing posts about her daughter culture. They depicted offensive pictures of her children and Offset. Now, I'm kind of concerned about that, of things being able to be altered and things like that to sway public opinion. We've seen what people have been doing with the Diddy situation and the Meech situation and putting their faces on different things. But how effective is this going to be in the next 10 to 15 years when certain situations may come about and be brought to the news? Now, Denzel Washington said this: we have a duty in the media. If you're a public figure, it used to be about being right, but it's about whoever's bringing the information and news first. And that could be a problem, especially with AI coming to frame innocent people and to make the innocent look guilty. So we're going to definitely tap into that. I also want to, Young Thug is free. You know, he's definitely out. Young Thug pleaded guilty to participating in criminal street gang activities on October 31st. Ending his role in the longest trial in Georgia history, lasting over 18 months. You want to chime in on that, give your perspective on that, by all means, that's what I'm here for. We're going to have an intelligent conversation. We're not going to slander. We're not going to pick sides or whatever. But whatever you want to bring to the table, the link is in the chat. By all means, the floor is going to be y'all's tonight. Also, Big Meech. Big Meech is home. Definitely Big Meech is home. You know, he's been the talk of the town. He's been in many rappers' songs. He's been in many rappers' songs. However, you know, the reception that he's got has been mixed. He's actually was sentenced to 30 years in prison in 2008 after being convicted on several accounts of criminal conspiracy and money laundering for his involvement in the Black Mafia family crime ring. Now, people are saying he told, they saying that he went through a third party agreement and what have you. I mean, the talk of the town is there, but we're going to discuss a little bit of that. But I have this to say too. Is 2024 the year of the rat? Why does it seem the streets are endorsing and co-signing rat behavior traits from the likes of YSL Woody, OTF Jam, and countless others? We've seen this change. But I want to talk about this thing, and this is going to hit home. And I'm going to have something personally to say about this because you never know. Sometimes news hits you in the face and it comes directly to you. This young man by the name of Gucci Third Leg from OnlyFans allegedly spreads STDs. Multiple women have come forward insinuating he has given them HSV2 to them, and he was supposed to appear on Aiden Ross and failed to show up, clearing his test results. So we're going to definitely tap into that. I'm going to probably share my screen real quick to see what the test results are looking like. Hopefully things are looking good. It doesn't matter, but we're going to take a look real quick. Let's check it out. It looks like Donald Trump is ahead, 177 to Harris, 99. Who's to say what's going to happen in the next couple of hours? We don't know. We all know that it takes right there at about 270 to win. And if you think, like I said, by all means, if y'all want to chime in tonight, I'm here for it. I put myself down there to the side because I want y'all to be able to have this moment and share your political views and things like that. And I'm going to share mine. I'm not going to necessarily say who and what, because that's your private right as a person to vote for whoever that you want to vote for. I want to say this, for whoever or whatever that you choose. I hope you looked at the ballots. I hope you looked and seen specifically the ideas that they had, the legislation that they want passed, different laws and statutes and things like that that are coming about in the next coming years. I hope that you supported the right people. Now, you necessarily, if you voted all Democrat or you voted all Republican, please make it make sense to you. Make it make sense to you wherever you live. I don't care if you live in Texas, California, Miami, New York, Idaho, Cleveland, doesn't matter. Make sure that whatever you voted on, you can stand on and you can be comfortable with. Like I said, doesn't matter. You could be Democrat, you could be Republican, but as you can see right now on the poll election results, you see Trump ahead massively, 177 to 99. Chime in, y'all tell me, y'all can come in, y'all, give y'all opinions. I love to hear opinions. I love to hear your side and your perspectives. This is going to play interesting in African Americans' lives in the next 4 to 8 years. I want to see exactly where we're going to grow economically, where we're going to grow in the political party, where we're going to grow education-wise. Because one thing that I always keep in mind, especially when it comes to politics, what's the benefit? How does it benefit the culture? What kind of economic value? What kind of education is it going to bring? And what kind of standard and tone is going to set to our culture? That's the one thing that we don't talk about. But I wanted to bring something to mind, and I want to bring this in, and y'all tell me what you think. But I wanted to bring in some of the things that Dr. Neely Fuller talked about. You've heard me mention his name on several occasions. Also, Dr. Amos Wilson. I want to know y'all opinion. Y'all tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to come up, but you can also drop in the comments, say I agree, disagree. It's all up to you. It's all cool. But these are just political views that I throw out there. And these aren't conspiracy theories. These are people that have been tested, tried, and true to our culture over time. Y'all tell me what y'all think. And I'm going to bring in Dr. Amos Wilson and what he said briefly. Check this out.
Identity after the elected in the heads of nations that Africans would really have power. He learned ultimately, though, that Europeans still had the real power in African countries because they had the African economic system under their control. The election of black people to office is not power. It is ultimately the use and development of money and economics that represents power for other people. Otherwise, the Jews who represent less than 3% of this population could not outweigh black people who represent about 15% of the same population. legislation. Your votes are not the ultimate statement of power. The ultimate statement of power is money, wealth, and economic control.
Man, this guy is smart. In my lifetime,
You've heard me speak about this, and I want to bring this up too as well. You've heard me speak about Dr. Emmett Wilson and what he talked about as far as economics. You heard me say this. I've been thinking like this since way back in the early 2000s when I actually got this information. He talked about how much political influence that African Americans can have as a symbol. But when it comes to the economic value, what has changed? And I ask anybody, please come up. What has changed in the areas that we live in? What economic value has just basically evolved with people from the outside coming in changing versus the people on the inside changing the community within itself? That's what he talked about. He talked about the value of your dollar. Where does it go? Where does it go? Is it going to somewhere in your own culture, or is it going elsewhere to fund their foundation and to fund their economic values, to fund their principles of what they can put in political power? I asked that question. Where is your dollar going? Like he said, no matter what you do to vote, what is going to be the outcome? Where is the tangible change that you can see? Where is the tangible change that you can see that is effective on your way from when you go to work, when you come back, taxes being raised and things like that for the money that you actually had, and it makes up and goes everywhere to taxes but you? How do you get out of the matrix? How do you get out of the trappings and the in the inner circle of you just being able to just pay debts and die? Where is that? Those same economic values, how do they stretch into the college? Why are we trying to fight for debt when they should be educating people on, instead of asking them what they want to do as far as college, asking them what job sectors are paying the most so that they could get out of debt faster? If you think for a second that economics only matters just in your community or just on what you spend, you got another thing coming. The value around you in the next, that mental make to yourself on where you're gonna go and where you're gonna grow, your dollar follows you right behind you everywhere you go. What I'm finna do is I'm finna bring up Shano. I'm finna bring her up, man. Listen, you know what I'm saying? We got in the room. I definitely got to send you a shout out and some respect. Definitely, man. Welcome to the show. You know, definitely welcome to the show. We're talking right now. We're talking as far as the Trump. We're talking the Trump situation. Right. Everybody's wondering, you know, who's gonna. And I say that it doesn't matter who wins, but is where's your money gonna go and grow after this? Are you gonna be able to save? Are you in the mindset of saving? Are you in the mindset of actually buying and stock, doing different things outside of you just working a 9 to 5 to profit yourself? Is it a black? Understand supremacy is at this point, because it seems like we fighting over who we think is gonna do something for us when Malcolm X already taught us to do for self.
Right. I think that I think that
Oh,
from
tell me.
huh?
No, go ahead.
Oh, you breaking up. But I think that
Oh no, go
from
ahead,
what
go ahead, go ahead. You got the floor.
I'm looking at it from my perspective. And from my perspective, I mean, even I've been, of course, they have the news broadcasters and they have all these people at the polling stations and stuff like that. And they're asking them, like, who did you vote for and why? And it really stood out to me. There was a Chinese guy. I'm not gonna call him Chinese. I'm gonna say Asian because they get mad when you say it wrong. So there was an Asian guy. He said that he voted for Trump. The lady asked him why. He said, because I have children and it just seemed economical because I'm a business owner. And when he was in office, business owner profited more than they did when Biden was in office. That stood out to me because a lot of people make it seem like, oh, he did so much for us, he did so much for us, he did so much for us. He really did not. COVID came through and COVID did so much for us. And that's why people keep getting it messed up. A lot of those funds were COVID funds. So all he really did, he gave out a check that we was gonna get anyway. All he did was put his name on it. That was it. That was gonna be money that was gonna come to us anyway, because one, we were what they said in a recession because there was nowhere for nobody to go. We was all stuck in the house. Two, they wanted to pick the economy back up. Once we done that, yeah, he could dish out a bunch of money, but at the same time, what did you really do it? Business is profiting more because of COVID money, not because of Trump. And I think that's what they keep getting it misconstrued at. That he did not do it. Y'all can say God did it, but Trump did not do it. I don't see that as that thing. He didn't do it. That was COVID money. That was money that was gonna come out anyway. So yeah, if his business profited or if any business made was more lucrative at that time frame, it was because there was more money being pushed into the economy. There was more money being pushed out, more money to be spent. But think about the fact that since then, what has happened? Because he didn't jump out of office once COVID came. He still had years left in office. COVID came in 2020, 2021. He still was in there till what, 22, 23? Like, he was still there. He was still there for a minute. So it's like for them to say, oh, okay, well, yeah, he did it. Like, no, he did not. And then it's a bunch of rednecks that's really voting for him. Like, they have a poll. I've been glued to CNN all day. Literally. Like, I've been sitting here like my daddy. All my daddy watches CNN. That's it. And the Discovery Channel. I don't know why, but that's what he watched. And the
Mhm.
History Channel. But I've been looking at this and they are saying like uneducated, uneducated white males. That mean a bunch of rednecks when you throw it out there. A bunch of rednecks. That's what his popular vote came from. A bunch of rednecks. Uneducated. Like, no high school diploma. No, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is what they're basing it off of. This is what they're calling y'all. They're calling y'all uneducated white males.
Well,
No college degree white males. That's what they're saying. But at the same time, it's like, okay, your higher population comes from a bunch of people that you can sway and sway on their vote because you're telling them that the margin between them and you is very, very thin. When in actuality, it's not.
let me stop you there though. Understand something, right? There are good Republicans, there are bad Republicans, there are good Democrats, there are bad Democrats. However, I go back way before, and I'm saying this way before COVID ever hit, we had something called September 11th, right?
Right.
I did the due diligence of doing the research and I looked under the Democratic Party and what was going on. We were about to hit the biggest white collar crime wave that we've ever seen in history. You seen Martha Stewart go to jail for what, dumping her
Mm-hmm.
stocks and different things like that. Make no mistake about it. There was a lot of red tape being cut up under the Democratic Party so that people could take advantage of the stock market, people could take advantage of the housing market, people could take advantage of the insurance market as well. So you understand
Mm-hmm.
that during that recession and bubble that we started hearing about in those early 2000s was the same thing that was created and signed off by the Democratic Party too as well. So they're not off the hook just as much as the Republicans.
No, 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 I'm not taking nothing from them to say that, oh, because because they this and that they bet. No, I'm not saying that the Democrats are right. I say that to say with this election, the most you can do is pick the lesser of two evils. That's what
I
I
have a
think.
problem with even saying that because then we're so okay. What are you going to say? Are you going to pick the devil or his demon? You know what I'm saying? in the two, if you're gonna basically label them both as being bad candidates, then my
I
thing
mean,
would be,
I think that one goes. How do I word it? One can get more of a backing than the other, but I do believe that they gon' honestly me. They gonna handle her when she get if she get in office. They gonna handle her like they did Barack. He can have the best intentions in the world. She can have the best intent because he did. He had the best intentions in the world to help, to do, to be there. That he had, but they knocked his shit out the box, vetoed everything. He really had to like, or he just you just lose, you just lose, you just lose, you just lose, you just lose. Like damn, that man went in there looking like he was 45. He came out looking like he was 85. Hair just ice white. They stressed that man the fuck out because nothing that he said was good enough. On top of that, it's like the majority of the house is red. You know
but
what
I
I'm saying?
beg to differ on that because we know that every president has had a inner circle of who people that he could actually relate to and get things out to. Make no mistake, it's the same thing applied in business. If you're a CEO, you're going to hire the people that are familiar. But however, I had a problem with that conflict of interest when he was hiring people that were working for Merrill Lynch, that were working for all of the people that they actually cut the red tape for so that they can make billions and billions of dollars. That's kind of a conflict of interest if you're working for a corporation and that checks and balances that I had somebody mention to me. Look, the corporations writes the checks, the government balances it out. People like that nobody's heard of, like Henry Paulson, that worked for Merrill Lynch, who got tax breaks. Who I think he forfeited over hundreds of millions of dollars to go work for the government. Then he went to go work back for Merrill Lynch. You don't find that kind of weird? You get what I'm saying? When these
Hmm.
same people are supposed to be what's for good for the country, those same people, Bernanke, um, what's the other guy name? Alan Greenspan, all of these people that have worked in the Department of Treasury and then they go to work for these corporations and then they go right back to work for the government. I believe that that's a conflict of interest because you know the inner workings of the corporation. You know how to get the tax breaks and incentives. You go over there to work for the government to cut the red tape so that it can allow you to do whatever you want to do. Then you go forfeit the taxes that you would make from the corporation. Then you go back to the corporation to work. I think it's all just I think the democracy that we living in right now, up under the Democratic and Republican Party, is just a whole bunch of bullshit.
It's all screwed up. It's all screwed up. I believe that going into the government and then coming back out to go back to your regular job is not. I guess I mean because I believe that if that's what I know and that's what I was doing prior to, then when I leave, what I'm supposed to do? Well, after I work for the government, like what do I do? What am I really supposed to do? If that was
You,
my job prior to me going into the government, and then yes, I had connections to do whatever or help whoever or whatever the case was, whatever my job description was before I left and did that. When I leave up out of the government, what do? I stay at home and twiddle my thumbs,
let me
or
share
do I
something.
go back to work?
Let me
I
bring
just
this
think that
up
I
so you
mean
can.
I'm not taking nothing from it. Not to say that they wasn't wrong, or not to say that okay now you go back and you know what I'm saying you can play both sides of the field because now you know. But at the same time, I look at it like, what other job do I get?
Let me give you that. Hold on. I'm gonna bring you back up on the screen. Now, I'm gonna bring you up so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. Let's see. All right, I'm gonna bring you over here in this left corner, and then I'm gonna be over here in this side too, so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. And I'm gonna share something. And I'm gonna put this on screen. I'm gonna take it away from the election results, but I'm gonna show you exactly what I'm talking about. There he is, Henry Paulson. There he is, right there. The guy, investment banker, financial, who served as this right there, like I told you, from the Secretary of Treasury. And then what did he do during the financial crisis? He assembled experienced professionals, quote unquote. And let's just say this: Henry Paulson, uh, um, um, tax savings, saved millions of dollars in different means, deferring gains and tax, capital gains, avoiding taxes on replacement assets. All of that red tape was because of this gentleman right here. Make no mistake. That's why I say that you should always have a strong type of interest, when it comes to actually understanding politics and economics. That man understood the economics. He broke the red tape. He actually got it ushered in. He's not the only one. Let me show you another one. There he is right there. They all come up. These are the people that push the buttons behind everything. Okay? This gentleman right here, Alan Greenspan. I've been knowing about this guy since the 2000s. I learned this about him in investor trading. If you ever get a chance, look up this documentary. These are the people that push the buttons. Yeah, you are voting, but we're voting in a republic, not a democracy. And these people are the ones that take advantage of the American people.
They
Because
say from
he's the one that told America.
1987 to 2006.
Yes.
Okay, now if that was from 2006, that's Bush, right?
It all up
That's
under
both of the
them. But
Bushes
before
before Barack, because the other guy that you just showed, he left out a year after Barack came in,
but
right?
he brought him in and cut the deal with him to save the banking system. Barack signed off on him when the American people said, nah, don't save the banks. But however, they cut a backdoor deal when Obama was in office. He cut a backdoor deal and said, hey, that this needs to be done or it's going to be the end of the world. If you think I'm lying, I'm going to tell you what movies that give
I
you an
mean, but
insight
was it
on that.
all bad?
Huh?
That's why I say that you have sometimes you have to pick the lesser of two evils. So saving the banks, was that a bad idea?
Actually, it was, because you know what it cost? It cost black women millions of dollars. He played on them with the subprime loan game. These are the people that constructed that. Doesn't matter. Do you think
Okay, so
that
no.
they voted who they are gonna vote whoever that brings them the best tax breaks and incentives and advantages to take millions of dollars? And who suffered from that? The American people, because guess what? The American people were suffering during that time. And guess what? They end up getting penalized from taking money from their 401ks. Here's another game. 401k was never destined to be retired from. A 401k was used by IBM to do what? To grant them tax breaks and incentives. A 401k was never was intended for people to retire from. Look it up. This is truth. How would I know this stuff unless I actually did the research? And that's why I'm saying when this election comes, understand what you're voting for and what they're doing behind the scenes to gain access to not just the money in the treasury, but your money too. So you mean to tell me the banks were bailing out, but then the American people had to suffer from that and they had to be penalized for taking out money to pay their mortgages? That doesn't make any sense. And that was on the Democratic and Republican side. So I'm telling people to wise up. And I want to bring this to attention too. Check this out. I'm going to let this play.
Because here's the way I usually explain it when people ask me this, like you just did. I don't expect to get much, but it's just the same as asking for a job. We are in a prison, and this is the best way that I've been using. I've been using a prison format. That's why I recommend the movie Shawshank Redemption. Think of yourself as being in Shawshank prison, if you use the movie as a guide, or in any prison. There are a lot of black people who have been in what you call greater confinement, what the textbook calls greater confinement, which is a prison. But the white supremacists have made a prison of the entire planet for everybody who is classified as non-white. That's how they look at it, and that's how they conduct themselves. And I was born in prison called the planet Earth, because the entire planet Earth, when it comes to my color, is a prison, because the white supremacists have made it so. So when you're in a prison, to get to your point and answer your question, what do? You just have to go along with the prison program. So looking at another prisoner and criticizing that prisoner for, asking the warden for a little bit more cornbread than they got yesterday for lunch before they get back out there and lift that barge and tote that bale. I mean, in this prison, called the system of white supremacy. That's the name of the prison. So you always kowtow to your prison masters in every area of activity: economics, education, entertainment, labor, law, politics, religion, sex, and war. So voting is what you call politics, but prison politics is anything that you're going to get it from the warden, because the warden has got everything. You don't have nothing. So if the warden says, well, we're going to pull some lottery tickets tomorrow, just like they did in Shawshank when they said, it's going to be spring, and some of you guys want to work outside the walls, but we can't have everybody working outside the walls, so we're going to let a few people work outside the walls. So, because they're going to be working on the roofs of the prison, tarring the roof. See, so they pull lotteries to do that. Well, the voting system is just about the same thing. So you just say, well, if I don't join in, I might not get nothing, but I would like to be outside for a little while. They're not going to let everybody be outside, but they might let me be outside. So, if I can, since they're making the offer, I'll participate. It's the prison rules, and none of the prison rules, are just. It's not supposed to be. You're supposed to be getting punished, but you get a little bit more cornbread or a little bit more time outside the walls if you can. That's all the voting is. Just get a little bit more than you try to get a little bit more than you had yesterday, but don't look to be out. Don't look for voting to get rid of white supremacy. That's not going to happen. If you can get a little bit more, like I said, that's why I went around making that lottery. See, voting is a lottery. So you're in a prison. So every now and then they say, we're going to paint some cells, but we're not going to paint them all at the same time. So we're going to draw some lottery tickets, and the first people who draw the best lottery, the voting, are going to get their cells painted first. So you say, but we're going to let everybody participate. So you just say, okay, well, they're going to paint the cells. My cell does need painting. It smells awful in here, all right, and it's drab in here. So, I'll participate in the lottery. That's all it is. But don't expect to get out of prison, okay? No, that's not going to happen. This is prison. We're just painting your cell.
You see what I'm saying? That's Dr. Neely Fuller, a man that committed his life and his mental capacity for us to understand exactly how this thing works. And that's why I say voting for the two lesser evils, it doesn't matter. You're still going to not be able to put yourself in a position of power. And that's what I be explaining when I be talking about what I be talking about, because I don't be guessing my way through it. And I feel where we are now is us teaching our kids that, hey, yeah, you're in a voting system, but what are you really getting out of it? Think about it. As much as we've expected things to change, they've pretty much stayed the same from Fifth Ward, Trinity Garden, Greens Point, Acres Home. We need to see a difference. And what I'm saying is a tangible difference, because we've elected Black officials, and they only come around when it comes to election time. And what is our result?
We talked about that in class, in my social work class. Like, we talked about that. God rest her soul, but Sheila and her braid didn't do nothing. She really didn't. She took a lot of pictures. She hugged a lot of people. She rocked a lot of babies. She made a lot of events. But what did she really do? Like, as far as helping people that was in her district, which is Fifth Ward, Acres Home. Fifth Ward, Acres Home. Like, what did she really do for them? They streets still raggedy. The healthcare is still trash. It's still hard as fuck for them to get anything. They don't have no clinics out there. They don't. The stuff that she should have been stumped down about when it came to that, she didn't do it. But she stayed in office forever. She died there, literally.
My question is, who did she groom for that position to make an effective change?
Nobody. And once she left, her seat was up for grabs, and they was dogs behind getting it.
I'm gonna say something. If I always said this, and I took, and I was, it was a running joke for a little while. If I ran, I know I wouldn't win, but my goal was to educate. My goal would be to educate and to put people in an understanding level to know that they're not gonna let me win. Trust me, because from the way that I'm gonna attack them so hard and so heavily, so heavily that they're gonna silence me completely. And that's exactly, see, my job ain't to win, but to just wake people up. And
To
from
be
the
a
knowledge
radical.
that I've
Most definitely.
obtained, that's what I want to do. You know what I'm saying? And that was just a running joke for me to run for a city councilman or whatever. So, you know,
Yeah, I mean, you have to go in there to go into office. You have to be ready for it because they don't want a radical. They don't want that. They want you to come in, sit down, go along so you can get along. That's how they act. And that's how it is. And that's how it's always been. And it's like, if you're not ready to do it, like one of my classmates, I went to elementary and middle school with her, Lauren. Lauren running. Been running for a while. She was the one who they had all over the news and the radio stations and stuff. About like when they had the thing at Yates when it came to that superintendent, and she
mhm.
was like, she was the one who was like, my only question is when you leaving? Like, yeah, she got her work cut out for her. One, because of the district that she's in that is completely gentrified now. Gentrification has completely took over Third Ward.
That's
Complete.
facts.
So you are fighting for who? For what? Because everybody that we know gone. Everybody that we know gone. It's probably a couple of people, aunties and grandmas and them, but everybody we know is gone. Except a couple of niggas that sit behind the tree that's left. They used to sit in front of the CUNY home store. Half of them niggas dead too. Not that many of them left. It's not that many of us left in that environment because they've pushed us out already. So you are fighting for an environment for who? We not there. You know what I'm saying? We not even there. You fighting for the dog parks. You fighting for EP. PAB ain't gone. Who you fighting for? Navies? That's it. That's all that's left. There's nothing else left for us. They trying to tear the CUNY homes down. The only reason they can't do nothing with the CUNY homes now, and them people finna be mad because they not even gonna get vouchers because where they was trying to move all of them people got shut down because they built they shit on toxic land. That's what I'm saying. So yeah, she got her work cut out for her big time when it comes to all of that. But at the same time, it's like if she get in, I'm proud of her. If she stay in, I salute her. But if you get in there, like who you really there for? That's my biggest thing. Cause they not letting us move back in. We gone already. They ain't letting us move in no more. That ain't our spot no more. That's not our spot. So I look at it like whoever is over Harm Clark, whoever is over Missouri City, whoever is over South Park, because they ain't moved to South Park yet, but gentrification is definitely finna hit South Park in just a minute. But whoever is in those areas, that's who need to be talking loud.
And this is where they start at. And this is just for me to give y'all a heads up over there in South Park. What they do is they bring in a new city councilman, they bring in a new mayor, and what they do is they start talking about economic growth and development, which is a mask for gentrification. And then they
Hmm.
start removing us from those properties. They start buying us out. A lot of people coming from California, New York, and things like that
A
have a
lot.
vast investment in these places that are cheap, that are pennies on the dollar. They want to
Mhm.
remove us and start bringing in their own regime.
They ready to snatch up them foreclosure houses. They ready to snatch up those foreclosed buildings, that those stores that we used to. They ready to snatch up all of the food places, all of the empty land because it's cheap and they coming with money. They coming with money, knowing that Texas cheap as hell
And to you people that don't understand the value of your great grandmother's houses, your grandfather's houses, see, the
because
thing
it's
is,
run down. They
they're
look at
gonna
it
throw
because it's run down,
they
and they
throwing
don't
money
know. They
at
don't
you.
know the value. They don't know the value of the ground if they sitting on.
And the money that they're coming at you with is because you're impeding progress. They're trying to move your ass out the way. So
Mm-hmm.
make no mistake, if they throwing you 100,000, then yours is worth
Your
10,
shit
20
is
times
worth
more.
300,000.
3, 4,
Yo,
500,000.
your
So
piece,
don't
your
sell.
piece of house that your grandma and them that you grew up in, that you and all your cousins used to sleep on the floor in the living room with the fans in the windows, that wasn't shit, and your grandma been paying $650 in that house for the past 30 years. That house, she didn't pay for that house 17 times with her $650.
I mean, come
Should have
on,
bought the
man.
house by now, but she didn't. But either way, they're gonna give your grandma. They're gonna offer y'all $100,000, and to you, you gonna seem like it's a lot of money. When in all actuality, they finna revamp that whole spot, that whole block, and your house, that house is then gonna be worth 300,000. I'm telling you, when my kid's daddy, when he first, I don't know what he had started doing, but it was back way when I was pregnant with my son, and he had gotten to a point where he was just buying land and then selling it, and then he'll buy some more, and then he'll just sell it. And I never understood what the hell he was doing. I was like, that's the stupidest shit I ever heard in my life. Like, we young though, you know what I'm saying? He had money to blow, he was a silver spoon baby, so it wasn't nothing to him. But it's like when I sat there and I really looked at it, like back all the way up and look at it, when he bought this piece of land right now that he stays on, he bought that land in 2000 and I'm gonna say 15. It was nothing there. Nothing was there, Rob. Not a piece of nothing. It wasn't nothing but grass and trees. The further they started to build out those houses from Fresno to Arcola to Missouri City when Sienna Plantation popped up, his land sat right in the middle of Sienna Plantation,
And what
right
you
in the
get
middle
for it.
of it. And they tried to buy him out of it. And when they offered him, they got up to like $400,000.
See
They
what I'm
tried to
saying?
offer him that much, and he refused it. He said, "Nah, because if it's worth that much, I'm gonna build on it."
I'm gonna say
That's where
this.
he at right now.
I'm gonna
He built. He got those people, and he didn't want to use their builders. He didn't want to. So they fussed and they fought and they argued with that boy for the longest until finally he chose the builder that he wanted. He chose, like, he was able to body rock that whole situation to a point where, nah, y'all gonna do it my way, or I ain't moving. Ain't nothing finna go on my piece of land. I leave it as bare dirt before I let y'all take it or sell it and do anything. Like, he stood on it. They
and that's what he's
eventually gave
supposed to.
in. They eventually gave in. He was able to build. He was able to make his own floor plans, do whatever he wanted to
And
do, blah, blah, blah. That's where he's staying right now. Because
and
he never moved.
and that's exactly what I'm talking about. And that's being uncompromisable. And once we get to that point as a culture as a whole, doesn't matter what party, long as we come to a common agreement on that, we'll become unstoppable. But I want to ask this too, and I'm probably gonna talk about this. I looked at the situation. Where we are now as far as Cardi B. What she did was she was stumbling at the polls and different stuff like that. I'm gonna give a brief on that. Me personally, I think it's a slap in the face as far as our culture, as far as what they're offering, as far as rappers. We're not gonna see these rappers in the next 6 months to a year talking about nothing as far as election or
No.
anything. I think they just use them as a wave and as a tool to just
Yeah,
get votes. But I'm gonna let you chime in on that and you tell me your perspective. That's exactly what I think. I think it's just an entertainment show at this point.
it is. I'm looking at Kamala rally right now, and they've been dancing since they've been up in there. Like, it's a concert. Everywhere she's been, I think that they are bringing out these rappers. They're bringing out these artists, period, because that is a way to get, one, the younger generation to pay attention to them, and two, you, like, somebody be on my side. You know what I'm saying? You get to pick a side because I like her. Or if Cardi going for her, then well, if he playing 50 at if he walking out to 50, then I'ma just go. That's how they doing it. Like, Trump really walked out to 50 Cent.
And it looks like
Why?
Trump just taking another major 10 more points. He's 188 to 99 right now.
Like, That's what they doing. They really using Beyonce and Cardi and whoever they can to try to win, because that's leverage for them. You know what I'm
Let,
saying?
let me play this real quick. I want the people to see this so they can see exactly how you can see that these things are orchestrated. Hold on, I'm gonna play it in but about a minute or so. I want the people to check this out.
I wasn't going to vote this year. I wasn't. But Kamala Harris joining the race, she changed my mind completely. I did not have faith on any candidates until she joined the race and said the things that I wanted to hear, that I want to see next in this country. All right? I believe in every word that comes out of her mouth. She's passionate, she's compassionate, she shows empathy, and most of all, she is not delusional. Trump says he's going to protect women whether they like it or not. Well, if his definition of protection is not the freedom of choice, if his definition of protection is making sure our daughters have fewer rights than our mothers, then I don't want it!
I just think that's nonsense. And the reason being is because, like you said, a teleprompter reading it in his script. I mean, how much more can we see that this election has been nothing but a sham at this point? I mean, as far as why do you have to me, and I'm just saying, as a candidate, I would be speaking. As from a woman's standpoint, you got to get rappers to talk for you, then that's a big red flag for me. If
I
you
don't
can't
think that
stand and say the things in
I don't think that that she's trying to get them to talk for you. I mean talk for her. I think that it's on the basis of I need you to I need I need your support. I need your support. I need your support. I need your support. Like that's where it's coming. That's where it's coming from. I think that's what it is.
and I'm looking now, he's already at 188. He doesn't need that much more. Um, well, we're gonna see. We're gonna see. I mean, I mean, she could rally at the last minute. Um, he only needs 82. You know what I'm saying? Electoral. So hopefully, we're gonna see if it's a close race down to the end. But we're looking at 188 right now. The polls are looking a little bit grim for Kamala. But I want to say this too, man. To y'all, like I say, it doesn't matter who you vote for. Put your money where your mouth is. Don't let the rappers convince you to vote the way that you wanted them to vote. I know because California is still open, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. I know they may be 3 hours ahead. But make sure that you choose the right candidate. But I want to say this too as well, and I want to bring this up. I want to bring this up, and I think this is something that's been been talked about in the news. Young Thug is free. Young Thug is free. He pled guilty in criminal string gang activity. He can no longer be in Atlanta. He is going to be allowed to work with Gunna.
I
Everybody's
don't
in
like
up.
the way they did his stuff, because if they tell him that he can't be in Atlanta and then tell him he got to do community service in Atlanta, how does that even work? Where the fuck he going?
I mean, to be
Tell me I
honest with
can't
you,
be here and then tell me come here is crazy.
well, I'm gonna be honest with you. As far as his stipulations, being out of jail is better than being in jail at this point. And think about this from Atlanta, from an Atlantic standpoint. I mean, he's got business everywhere else. I mean, Atlanta is your house or whatever your home or where you are. But at the end of the day, it's not worth going back to jail for either. I mean, you can sit at your house and do like an NBA YoungBoy. NBA YoungBoy was at a house. Well, he kind of messed it up for himself. He needs to slap himself in the back of the head, but he could be at the other location recording, because all a music file is just a file. He could send that back and forth and work whoever he wants to work with. So at the end of the day, Atlanta is not worth the time and wait. I had a homie just tell me about the situation. She can't be back in Harris County. At the end of the day, she doing better out of Harris County than she was doing in Harris County. So at the end of the day, is
No,
it
I'm
really
saying
worth it?
like they telling him he has to go back and do like rallies or something like that, but that's all he can do. Like he could perform shows and go do juvenile rallies or something like that, but he can't be in Atlanta. But he has to do that in Atlanta. That's crazy. What they do? Put him on the screen on a Zoom call? You can't do that.
Listen, if it's let me tell you something. If it's so be it, then so be it. Your freedom is worth more than being in Atlanta.
I just can't just don't even send me out there like take that off my paperwork. That ain't gonna work. Cause it don't make sense. That
Man,
part of it don't make sense. I mean, I get it, the freedom, all of that, but I don't know. That part of it didn't make sense to me. That's what I'm saying. That part didn't make sense to me. I thought that was kind of
but
redundant. It's
but, but
crazy.
but here's the thing though, right? Now we look at Wallow, who went through what he went to. He was, I think, what having to do dang near what 15, 20 years on probation, but it got reduced and I think it got cut all the way down. So that doesn't necessarily mean that Young Thug is going to have to do that probationary period all the way down. As long as he stays in good standing, long as he's handling his business, long as he's handling his business endeavors, because he actually has a record label with an artist that is majorly profitable. So why in the world would you want to risk that when you already receiving millions from an artist? So he doesn't have to work as hard. So he might, within the 5 years, they might say, you know what, that was too harsh. Boom, let me go ahead and just cut that and slice that down all the way down. You get what I'm saying? Don't use that as a way of like looking at it as the glass has half empty, but half full. And in his case, man, Atlanta ain't worth it, man. Stay out of Atlanta, man. Get your money and do what you do like you're supposed to do. Handle your business, bro. Because think about it, all of that gang activity, all the other stuff that he was dealing with was in Atlanta. And one thing I learned is in the first 5 years, when you come home from prison, where are you going to go and where are you going to grow? Because the average person that goes back to his neighborhood goes back to jail within a matter of 6 months to 2 years. Straight up. And
Yeah.
that's something that you need to think about. From 6 months to 2 years, you go back to the same place you got caught at, same place where the person that snitched on you at, same place where you got caught up at. Is it worth it? Absolutely not, man. Through 2 to 5 years, man. If he does good in the 2 to 5 years, I promise you, he'll be off probation. Shout out to the Young Thug, man. I gotta give him some love, man. He's home. Guess who else is coming home to Atlanta? I don't know what his stipulations may be. His may be to stay out of Atlanta, Lucci. So Lucci,
I love me some Lucci, y'all.
he
I
might
love
not
me some
even be
Lucci.
in Atlanta himself. They may
I
keep them
love me
separate
some Lucci.
because I
My
want you to
cousin in there was doing business with Lucci, so he went to jail. And I love me some Lucci.
think about this.
Made sure I was at the shop when he came through.
They they may keep him out the city too because his crew, the YSL crew, still around in Atlanta. So they might not want them in Atlanta just to keep things down. So hey, at the end of the day, your freedom is freedom, man. Take it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now this is the one I want to talk about right here. Big Meech home. No one seems to care. You know, he done did his 30-year sentence. People are telling that he's told on people, different stuff like that. And I feel like is the streets, are they really happy? Did he tell? Did he not tell? Did he make a third
I
party agreement? I
I
mean,
think that he was still so pertinent in the scene, for a lack of better words,
mhm.
that it didn't seem like he had went no fucking way anyway. Like he literally had a whole show that he done the commentary for. Wasn't nobody missing him. He was here. He ain't go nowhere at all.
Man, and guess who
How
was
you
big
miss
in
a
that
nigga
city
who's still
too?
here?
See, and here we go, man. He's at a halfway house right now. But my thing is this too. A lot of them prominent names, they don't want them back in the city. Thug out of the city. Big Meech might not be allowed in Atlanta. You don't know, man. These people play powerful politics to where they could be at any given moment to move you where they want you to move. And guess
Yeah,
what you're
they
gonna do,
play
Zach?
chess with their asses.
I mean, hey, man. You know, because you got to think about it, man. It was so much going on in that city at the time. It was a lot of death in the city at the time too. So you got to take into consideration the safety of others.
Oh no, I'm not taking nothing from that. What I'm saying is they move their asses around like they move their ass around like chess pieces.
Yeah.
For sure. So, if I don't want you here and I can get you out of jail, but you can't come here, bitch, checkmate.
There it
I
is.
win. Like, you know what I'm saying? You out, but you need to be out over there. Don't be out over here. Like, that's all I'm saying. Go somewhere else with that bullshit. Like, yeah, don't come over here. That's what they be looking at. Like, he
No,
out, but I don't think nobody really, you know what I'm saying? Cause it ain't 2008, 7, 6, 5, 4 no more. Like, he ain't holding the same weight. You know what I'm saying? You had a little show or whatever, but on the cool, ain't nobody really care when his brother got out either. Nobody care when he got out. Like, you gotta, you know what I'm saying, be a part of that era. Like, Jeezy and them might be happy. You know what I'm saying? They might be excited because they was part of his everyday crew when he was out and popping and it. Right now, nigga, you like, if you're not 50, you're damn near there. Nobody don't really care.
man, I think you better sit your ass
This
down, man.
50-year-old don't even for real care. Like, you
Man,
out. Welcome
man,
home, nigga. You
man,
hungry? You want to eat? That's it. That's it right there.
man, let me tell you something. You better sit your ass down because these boys got these damn switches, man, and they'll tear the streets up. Man, hey, man, stay out the way. Stay out
That's
the
right.
way.
That's really what he need to do. Sit down somewhere. Go by your son and sit down.
Listen, I want to say this. I want to ask about this situation because this hit home, and I felt some type of way about it because it came across me. It came across me in a news article, and then it hit me right in the face. And I want to talk about this. And y'all can chime in too if y'all at home. Please share the nice program. Look, Gucci third leg from OnlyFans allegedly spreads STDs. Multiple women have come forward insinuating he has given herpes to them and was supposed to appear on Aiden Ross and failed to show up clearing his test results. I have a major problem with this. And the reason why I say this is because that person, there's a list that's going around. If you've paid attention, there's a list that has went around talking about how he's actually slept with over the he had 3,000 bodies, but it's over so many women that have came forward saying that he has herpes. There's been countless TikToks and different things like that going on, and it is crazy. And man, when I tell you that this is a serious thing, because you're playing with people's lives at this point. And the reason why I say that, and this is all allegedly, but at this point, this is a very serious thing. And the reason why I'm saying this is because I actually seen him. He was actually in there buying some plugs and things like that in the Best Buy, and I seen him. And some people might have recognized him. I recognized him. A couple of other people recognized him. Um, he was supposed to be on Aiden Ross to clear up his test results. I don't know if he's trying to create now he's trying to make content, live streaming content, and do podcasting for himself. However, I'm kind of concerned with that. And the reason why I'm saying this is because I want to use this as an example, and I want y'all to check this out. Y'all check this out.
Bring this to awareness. Like, a lot of people are making this entertainment, but then again, it's like a lot of people's health have been, seriously put at risk. Like, I'm getting calls from numerous people, spreading rumors, spreading false allegations, accusations. Like, it's crazy.
Wait, well, so of course, bro. Thank you for coming on, and again, I want to have the other side on as well. My question to you is this: the reason why I brought you on is because I've had sexual relationships with somebody who were rumored to be having sex with you, and I wanted to have you come on here and clarify that. So, have you ever had sex with Sky Bree?
I ain't never heard that girl. I don't know that girl. I ain't never met that girl.
Good.
I don't know.
Good. Yeah. Okay, perfect. Then you just cleared me and Sky. Sky's clean and we're as clean as a whistle. That's great. So
you good, my butt. You good.
So what about Deshae? I know Deshae. I saw a clip about Deshae and this girl.
Those were just some of the things that they talked about when they was asking him. But he was supposed to go on the show, and he never went on the show to clear up his test results. And that is a very scary thing, looking at as far as the social fabric of society. And I want to say this to the ladies too, and this is to the young men that may actually be in the OnlyFans content area. You got to understand something. One thing is they don't do testing. See, when you're doing this OnlyFans and you're creating your own stuff, you actually are creating something, but you also have to understand the foundation of testing. See, the porn industry, we can talk about it. We can say that they test before and they test after, and then they test again just to make sure, because the industry that they're in, they take very seriously. OnlyFans, they just doing whatever. They just hopping on. Hey, it's good money, it's fast money, but at the end of the day, is the money worth your soul? And look at these young girls coming forward, 19, 20, 25, some of them even in their 30s that are coming forward that have this STD now. And now they can't go into the realm. And I knew that this was going to eventually happen when it came to OnlyFans. And I'm not talking down on OnlyFans, but I'm just showing you exactly when you start going off and not understanding the ramifications of certain things, especially when it comes to the porn industry, man, you in worlds of trouble, because at the end of the day, you trust in your body. But the thing is, the way you do business, you don't trust nobody on their word of mouth. You get contractual agreements. That's what they do. That's what's different from OnlyFans. Yeah, you could be your only business entrepreneur, but you got to understand you can slowly put yourself in a bad position and not even knowing dealing with these type of people, man. And I ran into him and I seen him face to face. And he's not that tall of a guy. He's not that big of a guy. But when I seen him, it seemed like he was not trying to be noticed in his own way. That's just me. But when I seen him, I was like, oh nah. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and for you to still be grabbing a camera, now what you need to be doing is you need to be clearing up these rumors, because that's your name. If it's not true, by all means, you know what I'm saying? The world owes him an apology. But I feel like something this magnitude being serious, you got to talk about this type of stuff, man. And that ain't cool. That's just me.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I don't know who he is because I don't know OnlyFans. So I have no idea who he is. I've never even heard of him before today. But I think that OnlyFans is like fucking raw in the middle of the street. Like it's not that serious to me. You know? I think it's stupid, honestly. But hey, if y'all make money off of it, do your big one. I just don't get the point of it, and especially when you randomly fucking on people and giving people stuff, that's not okay.
I'm,
Because I mean, you not having no care whatsoever about your body is your business. But when you put it in somebody else's hands to where like I don't give a fuck about your body either, that's crazy. That's so negligent. You know, these are young girls who probably want to have kids one day and want to settle down. They just being reckless right now. So they're not understanding, you know what I'm saying, the magnitude of what they doing. But you just fucked it up for them. You just fucked it up for him because now I gotta tell somebody, I gotta tell a nigga that I'm with that this is what I got. Because what if I have an outbreak? I have to explain it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't, I think that that is so very negligent. It's so very childish and stupid. Because why? Like, that's all I can think of. Why? What for? No, that's not right. I don't like that. And to think about it in that sense, like, I have daughters. You know what I'm saying? My girls do that. Like, they run across somebody who didn't respect the value of them, because that's disrespectful. Like, you don't have that, you just demeaned that girl on so many different levels, even without saying anything. You have disrespected her to the utmost. So I think about the fact that I have daughters, you know what I'm saying, and I would hate for a nigga to play with her like that, because now we gotta come shoot.
and
Don't
that
fuck up like that. These are, again, you just like you said, these girls are 19. You know, they young. So when you do that to somebody and they that young, like what I do with the rest of my life. You them girls probably sitting there crying their eyes out like their whole life is over because that's exactly how dramatic you are at 19. Anything happen, my whole life over. What I'm gonna do? How I'm supposed to live life like this? That's probably what they thinking right now, and it's not fair. That's not fair.
I'm gonna say this too. I'm gonna say like at the end of the day, it's not the money. The money that you think that you gotta have right now is not the money that you are gonna need in your later years. I'm gonna
Right.
say that one more time. The money that you think that you need now is not the money that you're gonna need in your later years. See, everybody wants to build this reputation of wealth. And when I say is look like the money as opposed to having the money. But those industries, here's the double whammy of that. They think that OnlyFans money is gonna come. That's how they think that business works. But the business world does not work like that. It takes time, it takes energy, it takes preparation, it takes losses. OnlyFans in the business world does not work like that. And that's like almost like a shortcut. And here we are, fast forward to where this shortcut, where they thought that they could take a shortcut to, now they're in this turmoil of having herpes or having whatever STD that he's allegedly having at this point. Now they're caught up in the rapture of this nonsense. And that's where I tell my young sisters and my young brothers, man, please be careful out there. Please look, do research. Just don't jump into something head first, not knowing what the ramifications and the bad outcomes can be in those situations. Because I think that everybody deserves to make money, but make money that is of moral substance, value, and most of all, safe to yourself. Point blank, period.
And like I say, I think that, they doing it just because they see the money in it. It's the money in it. They think that if I get the money, I can do this and I can do that and they can live better. But when you're 19, you're not thinking about what happened when you're 30, 35, 40. You're not thinking about what follows you from here to there. Like none of that. You're not thinking about none of that. You're only thinking about right now. And I'm sure when all of these girls was fucking on him, when everybody was hunching, everybody was thinking about right now. Right now, I can do this. When I get this money from him, I can go and do that. That's probably how everybody was thinking. Nobody was thinking about it. You know what I'm saying? Oh, shit. Nobody was thinking about it past that. And that's a lot. It's definitely a lot. It's a lot to digest. And I feel sorry for them girls. I hate that for them because
It's a bad situation to be in. When I say a bad situation to be in, a bad situation for all of us to be in, because when they come out of that industry and they want to live normal lives, this is what you're going to be faced with already at 19. And that's going to do a detriment to the people. Man, as you can see on the results, you see 109, Trump 198. He's taken a significant lead, especially in this election. He only needs just a few more, and and he's there. He's home. He took Texas. As you can see on the states, he's took everybody across the board. Hey, you never know. You never know. At the end of the day, there may be a swing. So don't think for a second that things can't turn around. We've seen this last election where anything can happen. So on the Democratic side, on the Republican side, there could be a swing. So don't look at it as a discouragement or whatever. Whoever that you voted for, Democratic or Republican, that's on y'all. That's just the results for right now. Those results can change. I want to throw this in, and I want to talk to y'all directly. I wanted to talk about this, and this is something, and this is to the young brothers, right? Word of the day. Word of the day is Peter Pan syndrome. Peter Pan syndrome is a popular psychology term for adults who have difficulty growing up and accepting adult responsibilities. The term is a metaphor based on fictional character Peter Pan. I want to talk to the youngsters and I want to talk to the older generation too. We are at a point right now culturally, and I'm talking to the African American men and women. There's a point to where you got to grow up. There's a point where you have to realize that the clock that you're looking at is already gone or have gone. What you got to understand is that you cannot play with time. You think that you have infinite time and you don't. And when I say that you think that you can put off growing up, oh, in my 30s and 40s, you're going to be in the worlds of trouble. The way that the economic climb and change has happened within the last 8 years, you're going to need as much information as you can to stay afloat, to understand where you are economically, where you are education-wise, and where you are physically. Understand, I had made a post. If you don't understand the significance of being a grown-up and understanding the severe mind frame of adolescence that's going to break you, man, you're going to be playing catch up the rest of your life. I'm talking to the young black men who actually are coddled, and I'm talking to the sisters who think that they can do no wrong, not even in mama's eyes. You better start taking life seriously. If you in your late 20s and 30s or your 40s, man, you only got a little time left. And if you're going to retire properly, then you need to be taking every dollar into consideration seriously. You got to grow up. You cannot waste time. You cannot bullshit. I'm being frank and I'm being honest because this is something that we don't like to talk about. We got stores called Forever 21. We got dudes out here that are over 40 and 50 running around like they 18 and 19 and 20. Understand, the way you commit yourself to a grown position is also, if you decide to get married or have somebody that you take serious in your life, they got to be on that same level. That same level. You cannot be a grown-up raising a child all over again. Understand the decisions that you make have to be grown up. There is nobody coming for you. There is no savior. Having the right mindset and the mind frame and not having Peter Pan syndrome is going to carry the next generation into a better situation. See, because when you go and you get locked the fuck up or you start taking losses across the board, you're playing catch up. You're starting over fresh. And it gets harder and harder. Understand that you got to grow the fuck up. You got to man up. You got to woman up. There's nobody coming to save you. If you think that, oh, I can put off being grown and somebody's going to come and save you, you're sadly mistaken. You got to understand, you only got a limited time. And God forbid your health and your morbidity start kicking in. Because what you got to understand is about your family tree that a lot of things that happen in your bloodline trickle down to now. And understand that your health can dwindle at the blink of an eye. Take your life seriously. Do not have this right here, Peter Pan syndrome. You're going to have to grow. If you're a man, you're going to have to grow, because if you got a family that's rooting for you and standing behind you and following your leadership, damn it, you better have a destination. You better have a reason for that child. You better have a reason for your wife. You better have a reason for your offspring to go into different job sectors and the different job markets to carry the next generation over, because it's getting harder and harder. Taxes are steadily being raised. Right now in the zip code of Texas, there are more than almost 20% of homes valued at $1 million. And you're thinking about owning a home? They've increased the mortgages from 30 years to 40 years to 50 years now. Understand the type of economic value that you got to bring it. And you're not going to be able to sit on your ass and be a kid and say, oh, somebody's going to come and rescue me or going to tend to the boo-boo of my life and the mistakes that I made. Fuck no, they're not coming. You got to be frank and you got to be serious. Because if you don't take this thing called life serious, it's going to hand your ass to you. I already see life handing their asses right back to them. They're not financially capable of stability. They're not mentally capable of anything at this point, and they're in their late 30s. We talking grown men and we talking grown women. Why the fuck do you need money to borrow money? What have you not learned in your 20s and 30s? And if you've carried everything over from your 20s and 30s into your 40s, God help you. God help you. Make no mistake. Nobody's going to love you like your parents if you've had decent parents. And don't let them be a crutch from you not becoming the man or the woman that you're supposed to become. It's a lot of people that wake up every day living the same day. They've never grown. There's a thing called osmosis that's supposed to happen when you get around productive people. There's supposed to be something that comes with inside of you. It has to be built inside of you. It has to be taught. You have to be groomed in order to get to that next level. How do you know that you're among men and women? When the mind frame and the conversations change. When you start becoming indifferent of the conversations, when they start talking economic value, home equity, different things like that, stocks and bonds, and you start to shine away from that, then that means that Peter Pan syndrome takes effect. But when you actually around men and you start talking those type of things, you start becoming interested, you start asking questions, you start becoming one of them, then that's the point of where you become a man or a woman. You got a lot of young sisters, and I'm talking to the sisters too, that's hanging around adolescent-minded girls who are never going to grow and think that there's going to be a last second buzzer beater, a Hail Mary to come and save their ass. It's not coming. Shout out to Jason Black. I learned that concept from him. If it's big enough to repeat, then it's big enough to attribute to. Make no mistake. I thank God for my mentor. I thank God for my family. And I thank God for me being able to have this information to put in front of you for you to get up off your ass and you can do something. I got up off my ass. I was around men. Shout out to my boy OG Fry. Shout out to my boy Tim. Shout out to my boy Black. Shout out to my boy Provides by Any Means. Shout out to the real B Banks. Shout out to all of these people that are men that are taking care of their families. Shout out to those young dudes. Shout out to all of the men that are handling their business like they're supposed to. Shout out to all the women that are handling their business, that's in marriage, that's handling their business, doing everything to keep their family well nurtured and close together. Shout out to them. Shout out to them. They deserve a round of applause. Don't let that right there at the bottom of your screen be the detriment to you. Don't let it be. Allow your mind to grow. Grown man shit. That's what it's supposed to be. Grown woman shit. And if you got sisters or brothers around you that ain't lifting you up and trying to put you on game, by all means, man, I'd advise you to step away from them. Get away from them. Because before you look up, you're going to be 30, 40 with wasted time under your belt, and you ain't going to have nothing to show for it. Shout out to the people. I want to say this, man, and I want to take off, and I'm going to bring something back. I want to tell y'all, if y'all get a chance, man, like and subscribe to the page. I told y'all, all you got to do is comment, DM me on my Instagram page, which is starting to grow a little bit more. Y'all check out over there what I got going on, man. I post different things. Drop a comment by all means, man. If you need something, by all means. If it's some questions that you have, man, hit me behind the scenes. I'm all for it. Email me. You already know what time it is. Email me behind the scenes. I'm all for it. But I do want to do this, man, and this is Rob's 2 cents. Keep your mind frame focused. And this is Rob the Prob's 2 cents. Those that are destined to do nothing. Watch those people. Watch those people that are destined to do nothing. There's a lot of people that are moving around that are waiting in the shadows for you to become a success because they don't have the mental capacity, the hard work ethic, or anything to become what you're going to become. And you got a lot of people that want to experience the vapors or grab the little mist or a little bit of the light that glistens off of you. They want it to shine on them. Understand, there are people that are destined to do nothing. And they know that you are the key to their success. And they would rather drag you or even ride your coattail so that they could get something going for themselves. Those people are deceitful. Those people are disgusting. Those people are leeches. Understand what a leech is. Understand that they are the blood suckers that want to suck the life out of you or suck the experience or skills that you have. But what's God given to you, they can't take. What's God given to you, they can't break. What's God given to you is already manifested for you to take that talent, take that skill, and you go and you run with it. Don't never be scared to show your talent and show your skill. It's God given. Don't ever think that you living on this earth to just be mediocre. No, you one of God's children. Don't ever forget that and understand that those that are destined to do nothing, they have no business being around you. They have no time to even input on your life or your situation of what you're destined for because God has it for you. Understand that your blessings are your blessings. Don't block your blessings being around people that are destined to do nothing. Don't block those blessings that God has bestowed upon you to put on other people who match your discernment. I'm not just talking that talk. You got a lot of people out here that are not gonna fuck with you for real. They messing with you, but they not messing with you. They messing with you with a purpose. They messing with you because that at the end of the day, they know that they don't have the mental capacity to do 1 inch of what you do. And understand those people that are destined to do nothing. Remember this: 1 ounce of doing is better than 30,000 pounds of talk. Oh yeah. You got people out here that say that they want $1 million, and guess what you'll see them doing? They'll get right out there and tell you that, and they'll get right on their phone and get on TikTok and get on Instagram and get on all of these social media platforms for hours and don't even work on their talents and skills. That's what the Mamba mentality was when he said that at the end of the day, the people that he fooled with, he used to take a look at their work ethic. And if their work ethic wasn't up to par, just like his or even remotely par to his, he would shun them. People like LeBron James spend $2 million on their body in the gym, training mentally, physically, emotionally, preparing for a season after season. Tom Brady, the same thing. Those that are destined to do nothing, be mindful of those people around you, fam. I'm talking to you ladies too. Your business endeavors and ideas, whether it's in the hair, lash, whatever industry that you're in, the makeup industry or whatever, you got people that are secretly watching you envious. They're destined to do nothing. They would rather sit back. You could actually give them an idea, throw them a bone or an opportunity, and they'd rather sit back and do nothing. Being around a sucker for 2 seconds is too long. It's people right now talking to you in your friend's circle and gonna tell you what they're gonna do, and they're gonna go right back to doing nothing. Let me just give you a little insight of when I started this. All the people that were influential, the locks, gotta give them some love. Young Dolph. Rest in peace to Young Dolph. My family, gotta give them some love too. When I started podcasting, and I looked to the inspiration of those who were doing it on a grand scale of things, the Jason Blacks of the world. Joe Rogan of the world. And even the man that most people wouldn't think that I would ever watch and pay attention to, Larry King, man. And I'd even say Stephen A. Smith, man. Shout out to Stephen A. Smith. When I started podcasting, I started looking at the people that came before me in the broadcasting world and started paying attention very closely. And I asked myself, how bad do I want it? So I ended up spinning on a microphone. My setup now wasn't what it used to be. I'm talking about from the microphone, me using a GoPro 8, from me testing and trying different things. It was a question and answer, me just going. And then me discovering who Jason Black was, he gave me a blueprint. And some of the things that he talked about, even when Dr. Umar was doing his lectures, I started to grasp of exactly where I wanted to make an impact. So what I did was I sacrificed and bought all of my equipment myself. Understand this. It was about how bad did I want it. I said I wanted the podcast, but how bad did I really want it? Because a lot of times when I was just talking, I didn't have an idea. But when I sat down and started doing the research and started understanding the cost effectiveness of it, I started going into detail. So guess what? Out of all the time of what I said I wanted to be, I took 15 minutes here, 30 minutes there, 45 minutes here, 30 minutes there. And before you know it, I had my first podcast. And my first podcast came from a GoPro 8, but we were sitting in the barbershop, Tim's barbershop, Timbo Chops to be exact. And from there, I took the ball and ran with it. Nobody had to push me. Nobody had to pull me. Nobody had to force me to do anything that I didn't want to do or say that I was willing to do or wanted to do. I heard Benny the Butcher and I heard also 38 Special say this. They gave dudes opportunity, they gave them game, and then they gave them a lane. And by all means, that's the thing that you're supposed to do. As men and as women, you're gained an opportunity. But these men actually want to see people be successful. Understand and make no mistake, it is your destiny to find your talents and to find your skills and to harness those things and make those things your baby. And when I say your baby, to where you hold it, it's like you holding a baby. Those are your talents. Those are your skills. You're supposed to be holding them and you're supposed to be protecting them, not misusing them or even wasting the talent that you have that God has given you and you do nothing with it. I'm talking to you. Those that are destined to do nothing, stay away from them, because eventually you'll be destined to do nothing right along with them, because we all know misery loves company and company loves misery, and y'all will be in that same boat together. Do something. Don't just sit there and do nothing. Let's look at some of these election results. Let's go back to it. Let's see what's going on in the polls. 198, she's gained a little momentum. 112 in the Electoral College, 112 to 198. We're going to see in the upcoming hours who's going to be the next president of the United States. Will it be Kamala? Will it be Trump? Whoever you voted for, by all means, like I told you, man, love yourself, love who you voted for, and continue to be great. It's been a pleasure this night. I always say this, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart. Without you people, this would not be possible. So I thank y'all for every episode that y'all own. And it's always a pleasure, man, just rocking with y'all, man. We're going to be back Thursday. I think I might just do an open freestyle show on that night. I might start maybe even a little earlier if y'all want to chime in, get some things off your chest. I think what I want to start doing is opening up a therapeutic Thursday for people to be able to come on, vent their frustrations, ask questions. A dumb question or a stupid question is a question that you never asked. And always take a chance, because if you do take a chance, remember, if you don't take a chance, you never had a chance in the first place. So look, Thursday we're gonna open up an open forum. We're gonna ask intelligent questions. We're gonna have it to where if you want to give your perspective, by all means, it's gonna be open. Also, if you see this program, you see the clip right now. I want to do a segment on this. I'm going to be doing giveaways every other week. I already gave away. You already see who's on my Instagram that I done gave something to. Like I told you, you have to get on here. You have to DM me and comment. It can't be the same people over and over. I want it to be some different people. I want people to come to this channel and know that there's going to be information spread that's going to be beneficial to you. Thursday, be on the lookout. I'm going to post a job opportunity that's coming along within the next week or so. You got Afro Tech coming up. There's going to be a huge event where if you're in the technology and different things like that, if you're in IT or you're in A+ or things like that, you will be able to go and get the right information, and you'll be able to connect with other fellow African Americans of things that are going on. And you're going to see me there. I'm going to be at another event. I got about several events that I got to attend. I'm going to be doing live streaming. I'm going to be doing live feedback, questions, answers, different things at Afrotech. And then also I'll be at the Whiskey Convention as well. Shout out to them for the love. They love me over there. Shout out to them. I'm going to be doing some things over there. Listen, if you want to be on the show, by all means, like I told you, you don't have to show your face. You can give your comments, your 2 cents, or whatever that you want to. We're more than welcome to have you. Let me send a special shout out. So I'm going to send a couple shout outs. Shout out to Timbo. Shout out to Keno. You know what I'm saying? He's a young voice that actually kind of boosted me back up. Shout out to Kimbo. Shout out to Keenan. Shout out to everybody that rocks with me on the Instagram page, also on the TikTok page. Shout out to Jess. Shout out to Shano. Shout out to everybody that actually participates, by all means, man. Like I told y'all, I appreciate y'all behind the scenes, you know what I'm saying, and on the front line too. I want to start getting some more brothers on here too. Y'all got a lot to say too. Listen, y'all got voices too. Don't never be scared to speak up. Fellas, we want to talk to you too. We want to know what y'all thinking about. We want to know what y'all perspectives are too. And also this, I might fool around and do it Friday. I might do it at the Whiskey Convention. Before the Whiskey Convention, y'all hit me on the Instagram. Somebody drop a comment or whatever. Man, listen, I'm going to bless your game. And then the giveaway that's coming for Thanksgiving, oh, man, listen to me. You don't want to miss that. I'm going to be doing something very, very special. So I want to wish y'all a good night, man. Whoever y'all want to win, man, may the best person win. Like I said, no matter who wins, make sure you take your dollar serious. And in order for you to be taken serious, you got to be serious about yourself. Shout out to y'all, man. I appreciate y'all, man. And on that note, I was thinking about something. I was really thinking about something. I wanted to bring this back again. And the reason why I wanted to bring it back again is because I wanted to say this too. Shout out to Prodigy, man. May he rest in peace. One of the great artists of our time from Queens, from Queensbridge, actually. One of the top artists that I've ever heard in my life. And I also wanted to say this, man. And this was in the news. The rapper Buckshot from Brooklyn was jumped. I thought that was some sucker shit. I don't know what happened with that situation, but I seen the footage where he was beat up real bad. He's been a huge, intricate part of hip hop, of waving the torch and passing the torch on to the younger generation. Shout out to Duck Down. That was an unfortunate situation and event, man. That ain't cool. You know what I'm saying? He's one of the OGs of hip hop. I don't think, from what I've seen, he's always been an humble spirit and an humble soul. I hope they get down to the bottom of this, and I hope they get to the situation, because that's something serious, man. He's one of the people that I used to listen to, Buckshot. Great album with Knife Wonder. As you know, my musical ear goes to everybody. Everybody. There's nobody that I don't listen to. And that was an unfortunate situation. And I think as far as we are as a culture, man, I want us to get better. I want us to do better. And I want us to have a situation to where we grow together. Shout out to Buckshot, man. I got to give him some love, man. I hope you get well. You know what I'm saying? And I hope they get down to the best of it. But I want to end this on a lighter note. Man, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all, because without you, the people, this would not be possible. So until the next time, we going to definitely yap about it. And I'm going to bring this back one more time just because they are nominated for a Grammy. I believe so. Man, 38 Special and Benny the Butcher freestyle, man. They killed Sway's universe. By all means, man, check it out. Man, them boys went off, man. Shout out to Benny the Butcher. Shout out to 38 Special, man. Them boys Stabbed and Shot 2 in stores now on all streaming platforms. Man, y'all go stream that. Man, it's a lot of game on that album. Y'all tap in. So good night, y'all. One.
We got 4 main lions up in here. We got 4 main lions up in here. 4 main lions up in here. Representing upstate New York, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Valley of the Hyena. DB, drop a beat on them.
Oh, shit.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sway in the morning, have the beat.
Turn it up loud. Turn it up loud in my headphones.
Yeah, turn it up loud for my boy, man. Let me get some volume, too.
That's
There
my
we
nod
go.
right there, okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Stabbed and Shot 2, nigga.
Stabbed and Shot 2 is out right now,
Me and my
nigga.
brother, nigga, y'all know how we rock.
We up, nigga.
We up.
You know what I'm saying? Listen, man, listen. Upstate New York, we in the building, man. Stand the fuck up, man. 716-585,
Stand up, my nigga.
Nigga, we
Stabbed
gonna
and
show
Shot
you
2.
niggas who the best, nigga.
Huh?
Let's talk to them.
Let's go.
Hey, y'all. 1 call, 2 bras, bringing the bricks back.
3 traps, about 4 in the morning, they blitz that.
Now, off every joint, I make 5 or 6 stacks. He lift weight and snitch, that guy's a gym rat.
7 chains, 8 watches, feel like my wrist snap. And 9 out of 10 rappers get bitch slapped. They want our crown, so we basically hold ours. Yeah, this king shit, they gotta pay me in gold bars. These bars so sacred, you gotta quote in the chapel. And this dope won't burn unless it's rolled in tobacco. My safe space, a few hundred acres, owning the castle. Niggas I fed bit my hand like the logo from Apple. Butch, on high alert when I'm sleeping especially. Cause the only way I can protect my peace is if my peace protect me. A white girl on my lap, then it won't be a Becky. I took a key and strap. Hey look, girl or boy, no matter what you got a bird of, get rid of it. A 20-year run is unheard of. That 200 cash I had stashed in a Serta. You sell a bag and kill a fiend, that's first-degree murder. I remember it was 20 on the truck when y'all was 1 brick status. I re-up with everything, that's how funds get balanced. But y'all know, once it's cracking and come with static, it's so hot, I can't talk, it's like the 1-chip challenge. These big jewels on my neck, that's about 100 and change. But y'all the type to make a couple hundred and change. This the life of a street runner, doubling cane, bouncing from 2 or 3 spots and not one in your name. Y'all got split personalities, from me y'all hide that. No pass, but the streets all contact. I'm quarterback 1, nigga, and they ain't in the league, but my new deal look like a Seahawks contract.
Hey, gotta ask me, will I invest? You know I'm still a connect. Without cash, shit, I'm feeling depressed. I buy a house while I'm still in distress. Renovated, not an accent wall match the ceiling and steps. Criminal background, drug dealing and theft. Hard to make millions without dealing regret. A whole lot dealing with special. Write a check you can't cash, hell gon' be your billing address. To beat my price, they all be trying. Corny guys know I provide a ticket that be hard to find. I could sell this for 45. But I'ma meet you at 2300 like it's army time. I had to get more in control. Nigga, I had to get more on the road. Back then, you know I had affordable goals. In 04, I used to travel with a portable stove. Had to put my old hoe on the road. She was 40 years old first time she transported a load. I'm the reason your daughter chose cocaine, but don't blame me, cause she got her father's nose. Was on the road for 5 weeks. My license bad, I don't drive, I pay the passenger side sleep. 5 freaks. So many hoes tried to hop in the ride, I had to assign seats. I don't feed tramps. If I sent flowers to a house, then it was weed plants. You know me, I feed camps. Giving you a brick is how I extend the olive tree branch. I show you how to get free bands. Yeah, this word stepped on, but it'll still make a fiend dance. A rich nigga in cheap pants. But the way I whoop your ass, you think I had 3 hands. Trust.
Yeah, let's go, nigga.
Yeah.